Good morning, Year 3, and here is Friday's maths lesson. Mrs. Dye's feeling very good today because I'm recording this on Thursday, so obviously it was a good night last night for England. Oh, let's get on with the maths. Okay, just going to share my screen. There we go. So if you'd like to do today's date and Walt, the Walt today is to construct a pictogram where the symbol represents multiple items. There's quite a lot in the slides today, so really just do what you can. It's obviously going to be a lot trickier at home because when you're constructing pictograms, you need to be able to use rulers and squared paper. If you haven't got that at home, don't worry, just have a go at some of the activities today. Okay, don't worry if you don't get to do absolutely everything. Okay, so pause the recording if you want to do the date and Walt, and we'll move on. Okay, a little bit of a recap from what we were doing yesterday. So here's your review of learning. Here's Colin, and he wants us to think about rabbits. And some little clues down here. How many people own a rabbit? Explain your answer. And what about the other animals? So here's our pictogram. So Colin wants us to think about rabbit. So let's find the word rabbit. Okay, so it looks like two people have rabbits. Is that right? I don't think it's two people because we need to remember to look at this here. Can you remember what that's called? Yeah, that's the key. So one circle means three people. So how many people own a rabbit? It's going to be 3 and 3, which means the answer should be C, 6. So 6 people own a rabbit. Okay, because the key is telling us that one circle represents 3 people. Could you tell me something about the other animals? How many people own a dog? So that would be 3, lots of 3, 3 times 3. So that would be 9, 12 for the cat, and obviously bird is going to be the same as rabbits. Remember to look at the key. Okay, here were our generalized statements and hints from Colin and Coco yesterday. Can you remember what's hiding behind the rainbow squiggle there? A pictogram uses the something to represent information. What was hiding here? A pictogram uses the same symbol to represent information. The key explains the value of the symbol, and then you can use this statement when you are looking at a pictogram. One symbol represents how many items, so how many symbols represent how many items, so there would be numbers going in those gaps there. Okay, here's another one to review from yesterday. Here we've got some pumpkins. How many pumpkins did Ray harvest? So let's find Ray. There he is. How many pumpkins did Ray harvest? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 pumpkins? What haven't I looked at? Yeah, the key. Oh my goodness. 1 pumpkin picture means 50 pumpkins. Okay, so for Ray, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lots of 50. 5 times 50, or we could count in 50s. 50, 100, 150, 200, 250. Well done, Ray. He harvested a lot of pumpkins. I'm just going to write that number in there. So 250 for Ray. How many did Edwin harvest? Let's find Edwin. Oh gosh, even more. So half a pumpkin more. So if 1 pumpkin means 50, what would half a pumpkin mean? Half of 50 would be 25. So Edwin has just got half more than what Ray had. So actually we could use what Ray already worked out, which was 250, and just add on another 25. So Edwin would have harvested 275. Well done, Edwin. And how many more did Alex harvest than Jacob? That means we need to work out how many Alex harvested, how many Jacob harvested, and then work out the difference. So there's Alex at the bottom there. 1, 2, 3, 4 pumpkins. So that means 4 lots of 50, which would be 50, 50, 50, and 50, which is 200. And then Jacob, 2.5 pumpkins. So that means 50, 50, and 25, which is 125. There we go. So how many more did Alex harvest than Jacob? So Alex was 200, Jacob was 125. So what's the difference between those two numbers? Or 200 subtract 125, it would be 75. Okay, that was good interpreting. Well done if you got those answers correct. Oh, we didn't find out about Danny, did we? So Danny was 4 pumpkins, which would be the same as this one, wouldn't it? So that's 200. Once we worked all of them out, we could then see how many they harvested all together. Okay, so on to constructing pictograms. This means drawing them yourself from the information that has been gathered, the data or the statistics that have been gathered. So here's some information. It's a fruit basket. So we've got apples, mangoes, pineapples, strawberries, and watermelons. And on this side, the number of fruits. Now this time, the number of fruits has been recorded in what's called a tally. And these here, can you see the 4 marks and then 1 going through it? That means 5. So it means we can count it nice and easily. So this would be 5 and 10 and 2 more would mean 12. 5 and 1 more is 6. 5 and 3 more is 8. 5, 10 and 4 more would be 14, and just 4 for watermelons. Okay, so at the moment that's just in a table of information. We now need to put that into a pictogram. Okay, so you might want to just pause the screen for a moment, pause the recording, and see how you would fill that in over here on a pictogram. So we've still got the same fruit down here. So now we need to fill this in here. Oh, and there's a key at the bottom to help us, but let's check the key. The smiley face means 2 fruits. So let's go back to apple. An apple was 5, 10, 12. Okay, I'm just going to write 12 in there again, so I know how many that was. And then over here, next to apple, I need to record that using smiley faces. But one smiley face means 2 fruits. So how many smiley faces am I going to put in for apple? Can you work it out? Yeah, it would be 6 smiley faces because each one is worth 2. So that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 smiley faces. Each smiley face means 2 fruits, so that would be 12. Okay, what about mango? So mango has got 5, 6. So 6 mangoes in the fruit basket. How are we going to show that for mangoes? So how many smiley faces would need to go in here? It would need to be 1, 2, 3. Oh dear, my smiley faces aren't very good, are they? There we go. So 1 smiley face picture, 1 smiley face symbol means 2 fruits. So that would be 2, 4, 6. Pineapples, we've got 5, 6, 7, 8. So I would need to draw 1, 2, 3, 4 smiley faces. Strawberries, I've got 5, 10, 14. So I would need to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 smiley faces. And watermelons, how many smiley faces would I need to draw here? Yeah, that's right. That would be 2 smiley faces. I know I haven't put on the eyes and the smiles. Okay, so my symbol, that's what was the important thing here in the key. The one smiley face symbol meant 2 fruits. Okay. So if we were at school, we would be able to collect all of this information in, and we could create our own class pictogram showing our favourite sports. I wonder what people's favourite sport would be after last night. So if we did a vote in our class, we would vote how many people's favourite sport would be swimming, rounders, tennis, football, and gymnastics. Okay, so if we had done that in school, perhaps maybe 6 people liked swimming, maybe 4 people liked rounders, maybe 10 people liked tennis, and maybe, what do we think? How many people are going to like football? Should we go for 8? And if this was a class at school, how many people do we have in a class normally? Normally 30 children in a class. So I've got 6 and 4 is 10, another 10 is 20, and 8 is 28. So how many people like gymnastics? That's right, it would be 2. Once I've collected that information, I could then put that into a pictogram. So how would we draw a pictogram? Okay, so how would we draw a pictogram? So maybe you'd like to have a go on a rough piece of paper what that pictogram should look like. Okay, it's going to need to have columns and rows in it. One of the rows is going to need to be what the sports are, and then the other row is going to need to be showing how many people liked those sports. What else are you going to need? You're going to need a key. So you could use a key where one picture, one smiley face, one ball represents one child, or you could make it represent 2 children. Okay, so on a piece of paper or a whiteboard, if you've got one at home, have a go at just having a rough draw of what you think a pictogram should look like. Okay, maybe just pause the recording again while you have a go. Okay, how was your pictogram? Did you manage to get some columns and some rows? What did you use to represent swimming, rounders, tennis, football, and so on? Did you use one key? Did you use one picture? And how many children did that represent? Okay, so well done for having a first go. Okay, so Colin wants to make a pictogram here, and he's got some information. So we've got a title here. These are charity clothes, and in different grades, the number of clothes that were donated, maybe. Okay. Oh, I think Colin might have gone over to America if he's talking about grade 1, grade 2, and so on. So he's got the information in the table here. So in grade 1, 120 items of clothing were donated. In grade 2, 60, grade 3, 180, grade 4, 150, and grade 5, 120. But Colin is wondering, what should he use for his key? Should he be using little pictures of t-shirts, where the little picture, could it be where it represents one item? So you'd have to draw 120 little t-shirts in there. That would fill up the box quite a lot. So he needs to make that symbol represent more. So he's thinking it could be 50. So in grade 1, how would we show 50? Well, we'd need one t-shirt and then another t-shirt. That would make 100. How would we show 20? That would be tricky. If we did half a t-shirt, that would mean 25. So that kind of doesn't work there. He could use a t-shirt that means 30. Would that work better? How many t-shirts would he use to represent 120? How many t-shirts would he need to draw? That'd be 30, 60, 90, 120. Oh, I could draw 4 t-shirts. I'm just going to draw boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if a t-shirt represented 30, that would be 4 lots of 30, which would be 120. What about grade 2? So 60. How many t-shirts or boxes would I need to draw? Yeah, I would just need to draw 2, because that would be 30 and 60. Okay, again, maybe just pause the recording. What would you draw in the boxes for grade 3, 4 and 5? And then we'll have a look. Okay, have you had a go? So grade 3, 180 t-shirts. Okay, how am I going to represent that? So 180, well, that would be 30, 60, 90, 120, 150, another 30 would give me 180. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 t-shirts. And I can use my 3 times table here, can't I? Some of you spotted that already. So 6 times 3 would be 18. 6 times 30 would be 180. So all of these numbers here are divisible by 30. So that would be a good choice. That's why Colin should definitely choose 1 t-shirt representing 30. Let's just fill in for 4. So 150, well, I know that's 30 less than 180, so that's just going to need 1 t-shirt less. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 5 times 3 is 15. 5 times 30 is 150. And then grade 5 and grade 1 are the same. So that's going to need 4 t-shirts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, well done, everybody. So here's your do it for today. Okay, so it says construct 2 pictograms to show people's favourite sport. Favourite sport again. 4 like cricket, 20 like football, 8 like tennis, 16 like rugby. So we've only got 4 sports to look at there. So you need to construct 1 pictogram that shows where a square, the symbol of the square, means 4 children. And then construct a pictogram where a circle means 8 children. So for cricket, if the square means 4, you would just use 1 square. How are you going to show 4 with the circle if a circle means 8? Okay, have a think about that one. And then the second part of the do it is to construct 2 pictograms to show people's favourite fruit. 3 like apples, 12 like oranges, 6 like bananas, and 15 like grapes. Okay, so think about how you're going to draw your pictogram. They're going to need those separate columns and rows to show the different sports or different fruits. Don't forget to put a key on it as well. Okay, so there's quite a lot to do for the do it today. Maybe just choose the sport one or the fruit one, or if you're feeling energetic today, you could do all of them. Okay, so again, pause the recording whilst you're having a go at that. And when you're ready, here is the Go Deep and Go Deeper. This is on your daily planner sheet for today. So the Go Deep today is Coco has drawn a pictogram to show cars she counted. She thinks she has shown 7 BMWs. Explain why she is incorrect. Think about the key again. And then the Go Deeper is another drawing activity today, another construct 2 different pictograms with a total of 60 people, their favourite colours, blue, red, green or yellow. The number of people who like red equal to the number of people who like, ooh, missing a word there, isn't it? The number of people who like red equal to the number of people who like, oh, must be one of the other colours. Twice as many people like yellow as green. Oh, it's a little bit of a, that's really deep thinking problem there, isn't it? So you've got 60 people all together. It's got to total to 60. It's got to have favourite colours, and there are 4 colours. And the rest you're going to have to do a little bit of working out. So red has got to equal the same as one of the other colours. I'm guessing blue, maybe? Twice as many people like yellow as green. So if 4 people liked green, then 8 people would like yellow. Gosh, that's a tricky go deeper today. Okay, good luck with all of that, everybody. As long as you've had a really good go at constructing some of those pictograms today. Okay, have a good rest of the day. Bye-bye, everybody.